Welcome to the Goods from the Woods. My name is Rivers Langley.
I'm Sam Harder.
And I'm Carter Glasscock. Ooh, I forgot my name for a second.
That happens.
Like for 1 second, my other eye just went askew, and the entire universe just opened up to my
I
brain.
am Cowboy Bebop. I mean Carter Glasscock.
It was like the end of Men in Black, where all the universes are marbles, and then just then we're back, and I remembered my name was Carter Glasscock. And I was bummed too. I was like, oh, what a stupid name.
Oh, why not Big Cock?
Yeah, right. I moved out here. I could have been Bobby Big Cock or whatever. I could have changed it. I didn't change it because I'm a fucking idiot.
Well, today we are joined by two fantastic guests, both returning to the program for the first time entirely too damn long. First up, sitting over to my right, he is the pride of Rocket City, USA, comedian, actor, all-around good time party boy. It's our friend
Blake Hamilton.
Welcome back to the damn show, Blake. And also joining us all the way from Tejas, it's our friend
Fast Ronald.
Fast Ronald. Hell yeah, dude. Welcome back to the show, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, look, we just got to get right down to it. There's been an unfolding situation in Carter, Blake, and ours home state of Alabama, in which
of many, this is after the lady on the highway sort of thing.
Yeah,
the child kidnapping thing.
Oh, and her name was Carly too. So
I know. And Carly had she claims to have called it.
Oh yeah,
and that she is lying, kidnapped herself.
Her clairvoyant ability is to call out other people named Carly.
She has a thing for. She has a quite the taste for people she suspects to be scam artists.
That's her X-Men power. I can sniff you out but only if your name is also Carly.
Especially people from where I'm from who are named her same name.
Yeah.
If you were smart enough to involve a baby on a highway in a kidnapping scheme, that's like crackhead Ocean 11 skill kidnapping,
right? Because
no one's that good. No one could plan a kidnapping that good.
Yeah,
except for Elliot Gould and those big sunglasses. Ocean's 11.
I think the baby planned it.
Planned it. It's the baby's fault. Yeah.
Kids are so damn grown up these days.
Right.
You know what I mean?
In Alabama, if you involve a baby in any way, everybody's Meemaw is going to be throwing you whatever you want. It's just a blank check. There's a baby involved.
Right. And to have organized that, too, where it worked out just perfectly that there was a kidnappable person that stopped to address the baby situation and not, some giant fucking man. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're right. It was too perfect. Also, I like that she went to Target and bought snacks, and then those were not found. So she was on every security video buying Cheez-Its and shit, and they were like, where did those go in the car?
She's like, I defy you to have a box of Cheez-Its in your car for more than an hour and not eat them shits.
Is that illegal? I thought people died for our freedoms. So I could buy Cheez-Its at the store anytime I wanted.
Is it illegal?
It's illegal.
It just sounds like a very roundabout plan to steal a bunch of Cheez-Its from the Target. I think that was the end game here.
Yeah. But we find the Yellowhammer State big, the eye of controversy once again, as in real life, on the day after SummerSlam 2023, no less, in real life, a folding chair was used as a weapon on the Riverwalk of Montgomery, Alabama. It just steps away from the Hank Williams Museum and the home plate of the Montgomery Biscuits baseball team.
I was late to the game on this. I just found out about this today. I had heard about it, but I just watched the video today.
Oh, man.
Have you all seen it already?
Yeah.
You saw it
hundreds of times.
Yeah, I know, right? It's worth celebrating. It's really a fantastic video to watch. It makes you believe in the power of the human spirit to overcome small business owners, which is what it turns out the people on the boat are. Allegedly, supposedly, according to rumor and vicious innuendo, they own a mini mart in Selma, Alabama. And
dripping with evil. Everything you just said.
Well, the worst part is there was a lot of people online that were just like, man, it sucks I can never go here again, because they did have a mighty fine meat and three. So apparently the soul food was pretty good, but they're like, yeah, fuck these people.
It's a Chick-fil-A situation.
Yeah. It's goddamn me and my love for calories.
Small business owners are the backbone of this nation. It was very gratifying to see that backbone broken.
Yeah, a boat full of them. Yeah.
Several of them,
yeah. So the situation, if you're somehow unaware, a boat full of idiots pulls up at the landing for one of those old-timey paddle wheeler river boats boat rides, which you're not supposed to be parking a private vehicle in. And a security guard tells them to move because they're being dicks, and they proceed to beat up the security guard. And then the staff of the boat and dozens of onlookers begin beating this family into submission. And it all culminates with a man grabbing a folding chair and like a man after my own heart, just fucking
From the top turnbuckle.
The Rock to Mankind, Royal Rumble 99, waffling, as Jim Ross would
He
say.
put his years of childhood wrestling fandom into the entire swing of it for sure. He was thinking about every chair shot he's ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and he beat the shit out of a guy with a chair. And I'm not sure if it was the same guy, but at least one of the people, and I say this, I'm currently wearing Crocs, was beaten so badly that his feet were like broke through the constraints of the Crocs, and the Crocs were like around his ankles.
As a fellow Croc owner, it's like those things are fucking
They're
durable,
tough.
dude.
Yeah.
Like you could fucking
Yeah.
you could hike in Crocs if you really wanted to.
I've been wearing these every day for like 2 years straight, and they're just now getting worn down on the soles.
I was say, like they haven't disintegrated in the slightest,
No.
despite the Rivers test.
I wouldn't put it past these people to be wearing bootleg Crocs. They're wearing like the Gox or whatever.
Oh god, what is it called? Blue Sharks.
Blue Sharks.
So when I go back to Alabama to visit my parents at Christmas time, end up spending a couple weeks there. I bought some Blue Sharks at Walmart just to have some home pair of fake Crocs, and they're not going to crumble either. I would say they're pretty resilient.
So the staff of the boat starts beating the shit out of
Yes.
the family.
the whole family, everyone's there, everybody's celebrating.
My favorite part is the guy who swam from one dock
Yes.
to the other just to fight, because that's a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He pissed off for several minutes just to even accomplish that, and then he was like down to fight after that. So
Yeah.
that guy gets the,
Yeah, that guy's hero of the week, man. Yeah, he jumps, and one of the workers sees the security guard getting picked on, and he jumps off the boat into the water and then paddles all the way across the channel.
A la
form,
Commando.
Yeah, like the Alabama River version of Commando.
great form.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, give me a minute. I just swam across. Give me
And-
something
Yeah,
right
hold
there.
my beer. Yeah.
And the lady running commentary on it was great, where she was standing on the boat just being like, oh, he's going after him. I'm like, yep. Yes, he is. So just,
And the multi-angles, like it was a planned thing. There's like 4 different angles of the fight at different times.
Yes. Yeah. You got to see the whole thing on X live, happening on X.
It got zeeted.
We got zeeted. It got zeeted multiple times from multiple angles.
Zeeted 8 ways to Sunday.
Yeah. They did arrest the guy with the folding chair, which is good because it keeps the heat of the folding chair as a weapon.
Right.
We don't want to think it's an ineffective weapon. We have to
Right.
continue
That's
to
assault,
believe
a deadly
wrestling
weapon
is
right
real.
there.
Yeah.
There's got to be a GoFundMe for him already, right?
Oh, he's
Yeah.
already out of there.
yeah.
Gotta be.
There's, goddamn.
Yeah, because even the police were like, "Yeah, this was their fault. Like this is what happened."
Yeah, there's a GoFundMe now for like a monument to be erected in his honor, just from the leftover from getting him out of jail. GoFundMe.
Yeah, on the Montgomery historical tour, we have a new, not depressing thing to stop and talk about now. So that's
It's
cool.
nice to see some positive country justice, right? Like
I
that's
know.
usually a very like bad context when you hear that.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's just a real justice for once. You know?
Yeah, it's outstanding.
Something for us to all talk about when we go home for
Did you see
Thanksgiving or
that?
Christmas.
Watch this. It's not all bad.
Yeah. Well, so we're going to now go to our ungodly concoction, and for this one, Dr. Sam Harder's in the lab cooking up something for us. What do we got?
PhD.
What do we got for him today, Sam?
Well, we got fresh from the grocery store. We got an Alani-Nu, River's
Yeah.
favorite brand.
Absolutely.
This is called Kim Made.
Yeah.
And you know why it's called that? Because it's by Kim K.
Oh wow!
AKA Kim Kardashian. Her name is nowhere on this can or on this website. It's her
But I
company.
guarantee-
It's her company.
I bet she
that
doesn't just
sponsors
brand it. I
not
bet she
her.
drinks this shit every day.
Oh, of course.
Every day.
There is actually a bit of controversy brewing there because she did post about it on her Instagram, and everybody was like,
You don't drink this shit.
Yeah, she's not drinking it at any point. She's just holding it. So people are like, drink it. We fucking dare you. Pussy, drink it.
It's good. It's gluten free, vegan.
Yeah.
0 sugar.
But yeah, this is
She's
from
a
the
businesswoman, you know. No.
She wouldn't put her name on anything sketchy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from the website. Sip it like Kim with our twist on pink lemonade, a blend of tart lemons. And I'm like, are there other kinds? And sweet
You go to the grocery
strawberries.
store with your shirt off and be like, where are the tart lemons?
We're the wet water.
No shoes on.
It's the ultimate sip of sweet with a dash of sour. So the collaboration,
Just like Kim.
the collaboration is known as Alani by Kim K. So, yeah, and it introduces a limited edition energy drink called Kim-Aid, which combines Kardashian's creative input with Nu's growing success in the health and wellness industry. So I'm like, what was her...
Just a bunch of jumble word garbage
Yeah.
that you'd see
Yeah.
from any like copyrighted.
Yeah,
She actually, co-wrote a bunch of Kanye's albums. That's the...
They
People
were
don't know
drinking this
that.
while they were doing it.
yeah.
also, I just like that the Alani logo is the like bubble logo that everybody did in like 6th grade
She
on their
designed that in
notebook.
6th grade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should have the little S, that everybody did with
Yeah.
the 3 lines and all that.
See, that's mogul mind right there.
Yeah,
what that
absolutely.
is.
Entirely pink can. Let's point that out.
Yep. They called this the season
Was
seasonal.
that fuchsia?
No, that's
No.
pink trending towards lavender. If I had
Towards
to say
lavender.
anything.
There,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
I don't know what fuchsia is.
It's like a it's like a electric purple pink. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that burnt gray?
Yeah, it seems like that's
Great.
is that like
Yeah, is
a
that-
turquoise burgundy sort of color there?
Chartreuse.
Is that chartreuse? Oh, that's a fun
Mauve.
word.
So Kim-Aid, with its minimalist can design, offers a seasonal flavor in the brand's marquee product line. So I'm pretty stoked about Kim-Aid. I don't know about y'all, but let us now dive in. Oh yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
blame Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
for, that
for
not
so
working
so
good.
many things.
For
Yeah,
proving this faulty can.
She gave me the idea to get my BBL. It ruined my life.
But Sam is currently balancing the can on his ass.
Yeah.
So it's paid off in some way. Oh boy, here we go. Yeah.
Since she is a lawyer, none of these opinions are my opinions. Just wanted to clarify.
I get the feeling that this is gonna bring out my inner girl boss.
Yeah, he'll take this one.
Oh, okay.
He barely drinks.
All right.
This is going to be last time I let you get away with it. I was like, okay, you've never drank an energy drink in your whole life.
I'm still not gonna have them smell it.
Oh, okay.
You should
Yeah.
at least put it in your mouth and spit it back out.
Do a true wine tasting.
I'm good. It smells sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
it
there's
does.
no sugar. That's the thing, and it's vegan, and you're vegan.
Yeah.
It smells like.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Alani-Nu, unbeaten, fucking greatest energy drink line of all time. No question. Fucking delicious. Knocked it out of the park. I love it. I'm a Bravo head now. I'm watching K. Are they on Bravo?
Yeah,
I'm on
pretty
E.
good.
Yeah,
It's
that's
pretty good.
really
They're
fucking
definitely
good.
on Hulu.
Yeah.
It is really good.
Smells like Kool-Aid. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like
Tastes
any
exactly like Kool-Aid.
any good energy drink just tastes like a soda or sugar drink of some kind.
Yeah, it should just taste like a soda. You don't want like that chalky, guarini sort of. I'm not getting any of the chalk. It just tastes like a light, bubbly soda.
It's like a Coke freestyle machine.
Yeah,
You
for
mix
sure.
Several different flavors of Sprite together. or
Yeah.
something.
But it's like not as like there's 10 calories, so it's not all the way like a diet drink.
Yeah.
But like it's pretty close. It's kind of tastes like a diet cola,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I
a
was
little bit more
hoping it would be
flavorful.
bad. I wanted to dunk
Nah.
all over this shit.
Nah.
I know, especially because Kim Kardashian is the Antichrist. But
Yeah, well, I kind of kept it close to the chest, but I was thinking, I was like, they're going to kill this if it's their version of pink lemonade, because
yeah,
as I've said many times, I preach the gospel of Alani-Nu. All of their shit is top notch. They are made by Snapple, so they have no misses, and that includes Logan Paul, who is demonstrably a bad person, but my God, his shit is great because Prime is a subsidiary
I
of
mean, again,
Alani-Nu.
he's not in the lab with beakers and shit testing this
No.
out. They just slapped his name on the can.
Yeah.
That's all. It's
Well, yeah, absolutely. So, no, I kind of knew this was going to be great. I'll probably drink 1,000 of these before they before the summer is over.
I can see you
That's
becoming a
good.
girl boss as we speak.
Yeah. My my ass is getting bigger. My lips fuller. I'm jubilant. I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm in love with Kanye West, despite what he has to say about the Jewish people. Something's happening in me. No, it's
You look alive.
yeah, I feel alive. I feel it. I'm ready to have my own company. Let's do it.
Rivers is way too excited about that. When Rivers finds a new drink, it's great. Another 5-star. We've been getting 5 stars the past 3 weeks from you.
I'm gonna start going like Dave Meltzer when it comes to Kenny Omega. You know what? 6 stars.
Yeah.
And it'd be 7 if it was in the Tokyo Dome.
I say, do you want to go back and retroactively make some of the other cans less than 5 stars?
I mean, it would be fair to go back and rate them again. But we don't actually care about the ranking.
Yeah, I also have a shit memory for this. So I'm going to say 4 stars.
I'm like one of the cool wine sommeliers where I'm just like, just have what you like, dude. It's not about where it's from or what it smells. Just if you like it, dude, it's good.
That's what I'm like at my job when people have legitimate questions. I'm like, just drink it. Shut up.
Tastes like pink or red or white.
Tastes like booze, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
I feel like, is it one of those things where sometimes people ask to taste a certain type of wine?
Yeah.
And you tell them it tastes like what they want it to taste like, and then they just accept it because they have no idea.
Carly did that once where she was like, she just thought of like a fruit. She's like, guava. And then she threw that into a tasting note. And then she said she overheard someone outside be like, it does taste like guava.
Wow. It's almost like people are vulnerable to the power of suggestion.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
It's like when they told me that strain of weed was going to make me horny. It didn't work out that way.
Because you walked into that dispensary with a boner. Yeah. And they were like, this is going to make you horny, I guess?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Alani-Nu. Most solid line in all of energy drinks. There's brands that have singular better cans and flavors, but as far as just across the board quality, still can't fuck with Alani-Nu. No true misses. Everything is either good or superior.
I would have that with a meal.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to. I thought like
Nice risotto, right? With pink
yeah,
lemonade.
like a leg of lamb, like a,
This is a full breakfast for Rivers.
Yeah. No.
I feel like the prescribed the way you're supposed to drink it is at like 3 a.m. after you just got killed in Call of Duty or whatever, and you need like a little bit of fuel.
Yeah.
I don't think you're supposed to. You're supposed to drink this with food.
Well, no, Ronald, you're wrong. It's not. You don't have this with a meal. You do have it with plates, and I'm talking about in the gym, baby. Okay, I'm talking about the glorious
tapas.
House of Gains.
I was just about to say, do you think anyone who's a quote-unquote fan of Kim Kardashian would buy this? You think so?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I read there was some quote unquote news article that was just like a thinly veiled advertisement for this, but they were like some people on Instagram are calling into question if she is the right spokesman for this line, and then it was like some quote was like, Kim Kardashian does not have muscles, and that was the complaint. And you're like, yes, because that's what sells fucking energy drinks.
Who said that?
It's some maniac. Let's see.
Oh yeah, of course.
So of course it was from delish.com, and let's see. Somebody says, I feel like this collab would have made more sense for Chloe. And another person says, the fact that Kim K will do anything to stay relevant. But yeah.
Yeah, dude. This is going to bring her out into the mass audience again.
I need her BMI index before I get this drink.
I can't go anywhere without hearing about this new Kim Kardashian energy drink.
She's certainly she's faded into obscurity before this, for sure.
No one has thought about her in years. No, the quote is, the brand itself took a bit of the brunt, with haters calling out Alani-Nu directly. Quote, what muscles does Kim have? Alani-Nu nutrition? Come on, one person wrote. Bad choice on this one, another said. Like,
so
I'm gonna go with the scallops.
Yeah.
And do you have any Alani-Nu?
So despite this being marketed towards women, that is the thing. There are guys who are mad that it's not masculine enough.
Yeah, that's the point. That was the original point of it. It just happens to have
Rob Kardashian to sponsor.
I wonder how these people felt about the Barbie movie.
Yeah,
not enough muscles and explosions. It's not that movie.
Yeah, I like that they're going after Kim because she's not going to move this product, and you're like, Yeah, she is. I think people.
She's probably forgotten that she endorsed this.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't.
100%. She probably has no idea this exists.
Yeah.
This was approved by her people.
Yeah, yeah. Her mom and her team signed this one.
She's
over.
not even required to take a picture with the shit. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
she does.
She does?
But
Okay.
that was the knock on her at the beginning of this article. Was like
Right.
she's not even drinking it.
yeah. Okay. Well,
Shotgun it.
Yeah,
But she is
prove that you
energetic.
love it.
that was a part of a photo session where she was holding 8 different like obscure
Right.
objects.
She just holds her hand.
Kim
like,
Kardashian binoculars, Kim Kardashian moon boots, Kim Kardashian energy drink, Kim Kardashian.
She holds her hand out slightly clasped like an action figure, and they just place different things in it and
Yeah.
take a series
Kim
of photos.
Kardashian dildo helmet, Kim Kardashian penis growth pills.
Anything to stay relevant with
Yeah.
this broad.
I know. I was about to say, like, he's fucking. I tell you what, her popularity went the way of the dodo. You know what I mean? Her and fucking Carrot Top. It's pretty much.
What did you think of it, Blake? What is your energy drink consumption overall throughout the day?
You know, as somebody that doesn't really partake very much, that was the closest to like syrupy sugar I've ever had from like,
Okay.
a vegan drink. So I guess that means it's good.
okay, yeah,
If it fooled me.
yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
you know,
it was very good though. I did enjoy it.
okay. I'm
would have more.
I'm surprised. What is there not an energy drink culture at the hotel where you work?
Not with me. I'm just pounding espresso all day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but,
so yes, just a
I
different
go straight to the source. Yeah,
okay.
but no, definitely. It's too hot for that right now, man. I can't be drinking Red Bulls and 105 degree
You put them on ice like
That's
I do.
true. That's true.
Come on,
I'll tell you what.
I put them on ice, baby.
Have some
Hot
vodka
coffee,
Red
baby.
Bulls tonight just to bring it back.
Yeah, get all speedy drunk. Start saying things
See you guys at
regret.
Bar Lubitsch later, all right?
I wanted to share sort of a historical piece that I found that was interesting to me, and thought might be interesting to y'all as well. This is a story from Canada, so shout out to our listeners in Canada. How are you guys doing? This
Jesus, I'm so sorry. That's it. They have to hate that by now.
Right after hearing that, they were probably like, I had no idea that those guys were Canadian.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me.
was
This
so-
was like last week when we were talking about Nolans. People who say Nolans.
Nolans instead of
Yeah.
New Orleans.
And
Yeah.
they probably have a better idea of what this podcast is all about.
That's
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
That's right, and most of them's names are Gord. So this is by Adam Bunch, writing for the Toronto Dreams Project blog. So this was the summer of 1855, and Toronto was growing very quickly. 40,000 people lived in the city at this point, and immigrants were flooding in all the time. With the very first railways starting up, the population would double over the next 20 years. But in a lot of ways, it was still pioneer town. There were 152 taverns and 203 beer shops. So you could either sit down or take it to go in a lot of spots. And also, there were lots of brothels in the town. And that summer, a touring circus
You
show.
want to hit those early in the morning, I hear.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Little Canadian bacon, know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't want the girl 6 hours into the shift.
Also, it's like working out. You know what I mean? You don't want to do it
Yeah.
after you've had a long day of work.
That's where this energy drink comes into play.
Yeah. So that summer, a touring circus show from the United States called S.B. Howe's Star Troop Menagerie and Circus was in town for several sold-out shows. And it was a rare, big draw in the city that was just starting to come into its own. There were acrobats, equestrian trick riders, a bunch of exotic animals, big cats, elephants, even a giraffe.
The works.
And then there were the clowns. So
Why are you laughing already, Rivers?
well, the clowns are funny, Sam. Just picturing them makes me
thinking
smile. Just their big honking noses, their painted eyes,
Their nightmarish features.
the trail of corpses they leave in the circus's wake. You know.
The way they devoured young children whole. Yeah. So funny.
The circus was done for the day on July 12th, 1855, and the clowns had the rest of the night off. So they decided to take advantage.
Decided to all go jerk each other off in a corner.
Well, I mean, not entirely wrong. They decided to take advantage of the local nightlife. So they picked Marianne Armstrong's house, a brothel.
In costume or out of costume?
For the purposes of comedy, we're going to assume fully in costume. I think it's
at least some smudged on face paint.
Yeah,
at the very least.
For a traveling circus,
A red nose here or there.
it's traveling circus, limited access to showers. We have to assume they're still fully made up.
No, every person had one outfit back then, and that was it.
Yeah.
They were dressing like that all the
They've
time.
got the ruffles. They've got the polka dot, jumpers. They got the whole thing.
I'd be surprised if clowns changed today.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way they changed back.
It's funny to imagine they've taken off the clown costume, but they still have the makeup, and they're just wearing Dickies Union suit or something, just
I
walking
want to
around.
say, stand-up open mics have a reputation for smelly people. Clown comedy venues, holy fucking shit. Do those people not bother to bathe?
I don't know. I feel like people who apply makeup and shit are probably more considerate than someone who's been wearing like the same shirt for 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's true. So, they go into this brothel near the corner of King and Jarvis and settled in for a night of fun. This particular brothel was also the hangout for some of the men in the local fire brigade. So the
classic rivalry.
Firemen
and clowns.
Firemen versus clowns. It's about to go down.
That's a classic matchup.
Everybody knows.
Yeah.
The clown comes in with the seltzer gun, and the fireman just turns on the hose.
I see it on my
our thing.
I see it on my street. I live right by a firehouse, and they'll all be like sitting out shirtless, like all ripped and shit. They're all like watching the fire truck and shit with all suds. And then a group of clowns will walk by, and they're like, "Hey, fuck you, guy! What do you do? What do you do? How do you protect California?" Then they accidentally slip on a banana peel. It's tense. It gets tense when clowns and firemen get.
20 of them
I
jump
need
into a car and speed away.
Yeah. I'll pack into a tiny car, and they yell "fuck you" at the firemen.
Yeah, there we go. Need my implement of destruction for this. I don't know where my mind was at. I needed that from the beginning.
It's been a while since you brought out the slide whistle.
I know. It's been almost 2 weeks.
Firemen go down the fire pole. Clowns go up.
Oh, what would that sound like?
It would sound something like this. That's also what it sounds like when they're banging hookers in a brothel. Their eyes are spinning in concentric circles.
In a different way.
It says jackpot on their eyes.
Instead of coming, they just like pie themselves in the face.
Third hand reaches out with a pie.
the third hand that is connected to their cock.
When you put on the pants, it's like a Jack in the Box head.
Spring-loaded penis.
So, as you can tell, tensions are high. Clowns and firefighters hanging out of the same whorehouse there.
Oh boy, that's a recipe for disaster.
And I don't know what y'all know about the fire departments of the 19th century, but in those days, there was no central public fire department. Fire brigades were private entities. And if there was a fire, multiple fire departments would show up and would bid for a contract on a building that was on fire. And that is how, so somebody would come up and be like, I'll charge $100 to put out that fire. And another guy would pull in and go, I'll go 60. And then they would try to either, undercut each other and stuff. It's very similar to the Tom Green sketch, Undercutters, where he runs up on a pizza delivery guy with a tackle box full of toppings and tries to sell the pizza to the guy at the door for less. It was like that, but your house is burning down.
Way more dire.
Yeah. Talk about a pressure cell.
And that was standard everywhere. So anybody who's like, I wonder if there's a need to cut out the profit motive of a public service. It's demonstrative.
Sounds like a libertarian dream to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Literally, that's what this was. It was
what I've always wanted.
Yeah, the market will decide whether or not your house burns down. So just a couple weeks earlier, the Hook and Ladders, who are the firemen in the brothel, they'd arrived at a fire on Church Street at the same time as another brigade, and a fight broke out over who got to put it out. As the building burned, firemen rioted in the streets, and when the police showed up, they got pulled into the brawl too, and in the end, the firemen were charged with assault, and the battle became known as the Firemen's Riots. So we're like 2 weeks out from the Firemen's Riots, and now we've got
These boys are pent up.
Oh yeah, they're pissed. They're real pissed.
I always wonder what's the exact stats for when it becomes a riot. How many people have to be involved in a group fight before it's technically a riot?
Well, and is it a riot? Because technically something was already on fire, not as a result of the riot.
Like 5 pairs of firefighters, like all like rock'em sock'em robots, seeing each other, like punching each other in the face at the same time.
So no one seems to agree on exactly how the fight began between the clowns and the firemen. Some blame a particularly loudmouth clown.
No way.
Instigator clown.
He's the main one doing it.
Nice hose you got there, junior cadet.
Yeah.
You got to have that thing at the ready.
I know. I wish I had a holster, like, for,
What if like one of the firemen, when he was like fucking one of the hookers, he's like, I'm about to hose you down, and then just like one little salty tear. That's gross, but
some say the clowns cut in line at the brothel.
Yeah, I could see why you'd be upset about that.
you hear like the piano music, and he's like got like a newspaper with the eyes cut out on it, and he like steps in front of.
Oh, see, I was thinking you were waiting for the door to open, and then a car pulls up, and like 30 clowns get out. Like, damn it!
I never thought about old-timey brothel etiquette until just now. Like, how did that work? Was it like a deli where you like take a number?
Take a number.
And you have to wait, or like you have like
Clearly
one woman that everybody's waiting on the one
Yeah.
lady, I guess.
Clearly
Yeah.
at this place, there was not a good system.
No, yeah.
Or this would have sorted itself out.
Some say the clowns cut in line or knocked the hat off a fireman's head, but this much is clear. That night, the clowns were victorious, friends. So at least 2 of the firemen were seriously injured, dragged out of the brothel to safety as the Hook and Ladder crew retreated. So the clowns have won the day at the Battle of the Brothel.
They were lured in by what seemed to be a seemingly harmless flower, but in fact was an explosive.
It was actually a squirt gun. And
Some were a squirt gun, some were
yeah.
explosive.
They went in for a friendly pre-fight handshake and were shocked to the ground.
oh, yeah, there we go.
Who doesn't have a pre-fight handshake? All right, well, let's be careful and let's.
Good game, good game.
I
good
do
game.
respect you, yeah. Even though you fucked my wife. I do respect you, and we will have a fair fight.
Clown bastard. It's like mumbling as he walks away.
So the clowns won, and for the rest of the night, they could drink and have sex in peace. But it wasn't over.
With each other, the prostitutes were just kind of looking on.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. Wow.
It was all silent and stuff too.
There's the monkey in the corner with the organ grinder playing the music.
What they didn't mention was they were all mimes, and this was a completely silent fight.
But yeah, it wasn't over. Those firemen had a lot of friends. And in those days, Toronto was still pretty much entirely run by a group of Protestant Tory religious fanatics called the Orange Men, which are part of the Orange Order, the Protestant psychopaths in Northern Ireland too. So, lots of fun going on in the streets there. They have their own gang that has a hold of the reins of power. So that's great.
It's like the Warriors.
Yeah, so they hung out together at the Orange Lodge and made sure that other Orange Men got all the important jobs in the city. And the police were pretty much all Orange Men, and the firefighters were too. So usually they focused on beating up Catholics, but they were willing to make an occasional exception for clowns. You goddamn papists and also bozos. All papists and bozos clear out of Toronto. The day after the fight at the brothel, Friday the 13th, by the way, a crowd began to gather outside of SB Howe's Star Troop Menagerie and Circus. An angry crowd. a solidly orange crowd. The farmers and merchants who had set up stalls near the circus were told to clear out because there was trouble a brewing. So just this is like classic, just circus going on, and then the old time farmers, they're just like, better get lost. There's about to be a clown fight. Oh, I know what that means, mister. I'll get out. And he's just got a bushel full of tomatoes under his arms as he runs away. So word of the confrontation reached the police before the violence broke out. But of course, the chief of police, Samuel Sherwood, was an Orangeman. And in fact, years earlier, he had helped to organize a conservative attack on a liberal Reform Party parade. So this is the kind of guy who just sees a parade and is like, well, we got to attack that. So
Can't have those.
So once again, clowns, parades, just any public expression of joy. It's got to be beaten down by these Protestants.
A lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of street fights.
And during that parade, by the way, they'd killed a guy. So when Chief Sherwood heard about the trouble down at the fair green and the circus, he dragged his feet for as long as he could, and then eventually sent a few men to check it out. But by that time, it had already started. The war between clowns and the Orangemen had begun. While the circus performers, clowns, and carnies were apparently able to hold the mob off for a while, couldn't last. So this is remember the Alamo? No, remember the Big Top. So people were throwing rocks, and eventually the crowd overwhelmed the circus. And when the hook and ladders arrived, all hell broke loose. So now the firemen are here as reinforcements. So they stormed the circus with picks and axes, overturned wagons, pulled down the tents, and set fire to the Big Top. And they beat clowns to a pulp. Circus folks ran for their lives. Some dove into the lake for safety from the flames. It was mayhem. Why is there not a movie?
Jesus.
Like, this is one of those stories that's just waiting to be told.
I don't know if there's much of a story. There's like two really good fight scenes. I don't know what else the movie's really about.
Sam,
stories are not about fights; they're about characters.
Look, the boat
movie's about love.
It's about love.
Ronald's correct. The boat hits an iceberg and it sinks. There's not much of a story, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I call it the Clown Town Sex Massacre.
Oh yeah,
episode title.
That's true. There is a long brothel scene. Also,
that's what I mean.
The whole movie
lots of nudity.
One of the clowns falls in love with a girl at the brothel, and it's like, I could take you away from this town.
The youngest clown,
the hot clown, the Timothy clown of Meg.
Yeah, Squeaky. Like Squeaky's like talking to you. He's like, I can take you away from all this. We can forget about this life and start anew in Montreal.
But first, I have to beat the shit out of this fireman.
And then someone bursts into the door, and he's got like a fucking his head's like shaved like a pencil, because that's like a thing that clowns do apparently.
Yeah.
And he's like, Harry, there's a bunch of rowdy firemen out there. I mean, I'm seeing the scenes right
Thank
now.
you.
The movie writes itself.
Yeah, you see the vision.
Just picturing like Bob Guccione's Caligula, but it's all Canadian clowns. Like exactly the same movie. You just substitute clowns.
Yeah. Also, debunking the myth that all Canadians nice. I don't know. I don't think about
not the fucking Protestant ones.
Not the
clearly.
clowns.
Yeah.
Not the clowns and the firemen.
Maybe check out some residential schools, and we'll check up on that.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
No, I do like how this is just the classic like jocks versus nerds dynamic that's always been since the beginning of time.
Jocks v theater kids,
It's,
right
yeah,
here.
it's like you got your burly firemen versus your clowns. That's
I get it.
every movie ever made, right there.
I think that it still stands to this day, where every kid wants to leave home to go become a clown, and we're all trying to defund the fire department.
So it took the mayor of Toronto to settle things down. He came to the fair green in person and personally stopped a fireman from killing a clown with an axe.
There's your climax right there. He's got the axe in the air.
But it's also
like
funny.
Pocahontas.
It has makeup on it, the axe.
How many of you already killed? No, it's just funny to me because I love Canadians. I really do. But they love rules. It's their favorite thing. So I love that when the mayor showed up, they were like, okay, I'll give it up. I won't kill him.
All right,
kill
this is
him.
getting a little out of hand. You're right. You're right.
Get a little crazy.
Let's all relax.
Now a man with a cartoonish sash showed up.
All I can think is politicians used to do something.
I know.
They literally used to accomplish something in real time, and that does not happen anymore.
They used to ride up on a horse
Yeah.
to put it into disputes.
Although I could see the late mayor of Toronto, Rob Ford, stopping a clown murder. That seems like something
He'd be
he would be
participating.
entangled in. Yeah. So
Gerald Ford used to do the same thing. Local disputes in D.C., he'd go stop them.
So the mayor eventually has to call in a militia to take control of the situation. And once things had calmed down, the circus performers came back for their belongings and then ran like hell from Toronto.
Quick, get your clown shit. Go.
There's no way them running like hell from Toronto doesn't have Benny Hill music.
Oh, yeah. And the honking of their shoes as they run.
Very easy to follow them.
Yeah, I know. Where did they go?
Hear it for miles away.
Sneaking up on a clown. Child's
Very
play.
easy.
So the police had done nothing, and they just watched. And even Chief Sherwood himself had eventually shown up, but could only claim to have stopped the rioters from setting fire
It
to
makes
the
it even
cages.
seem more like a dream, too. Chief Sherwood, like there's a Robin Hood element to
yeah.
this, too.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
This just seems like a fucking weird fantasy dream that you wake up from drinking too many Alani-Nu's or whatever before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Too many Molsons, eh?
Well, I like that the only time he stopped them was when they were trying to set fire to the animal cages. And he's like, and it's like, oh, brother, where are they? It's like, oh, George, not the livestock. You could kill clowns all day. Those are, but wow, these giraffes are precious.
Giraffe milk is a delicacy.
Still to this day in Toronto.
Yeah, I have some of
Top
my
shelf
cornflakes
giraffe
every
milk?
morning, dude.
Ooh,
yeah.
So, of the 17 people who were charged in the riot, only one was ever convicted, and all of the policemen who were at the scene claimed that they couldn't remember any of the Orangemen who had been there. So,
Of course.
yeah. And that, as far as most people were concerned, was a cover-up, and they would keep on coming. A few months later, there was another Protestant v. Catholic riot, and Chief Sherwood's memory was again suspiciously fuzzy as far as the Orangemen who were concerned. And a few months after that, he was under fire again after freeing a suspect who had been accused of robbing a bank. So this guy, I mean, look, when you're an orange, you're orange for life, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Why orange?
I think it's the Irish thing. Like the IRA selected the green half of the flag, and so the Protestant half selected the orange side. And because they started off in Northern Ireland, these are still the psychos that when you go, if you drive through Belfast, like the Protestant side of Belfast, they'll have their pubs, and hilariously, the Protestant pubs, because they're goal is to be unrelatable, will have Confederate flags outside and shit. And you're like, what the fuck? What? Like, you know, and then someone explains it to you like, oh no, they're really into apartheid. That's their favorite thing.
Well, and speaking of parades, they have oftentimes a violent parade every year through Belfast where, the Orangemen, just to annoy the locals, will like go through the streets, and every year it gets very violent. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good and normal things happening.
Yep. So after the guy, he lets him off for robbing a bank, there had been another mayoral election, and for the first time in 20 years, a Liberal Reform Party candidate won. City Council called for deep reforms, and they end up scrapping the entire police force. So they fired absolutely fucking everybody, and half of the old constables would end up being rehired, but Toronto was finally broken down of orange power, and the Circus riot is the origin of the modern day Toronto Police Service. So this is where the current cops in Toronto trace their lineage to. It's like our previous version was so fucked up, we had to get a new police force going because of all the clown murders.
They tried to erase that from history because they knew it was that bad.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're not those guys.
Yeah,
we're the same guys, but like different.
Right. Well, they try to make it seem like, oh, we fired everybody, and then you read it, so it's like, oh no, they actually hired a bunch of people back too. Like it took 100 years to get all the Orangemen like out
Under
of the
new management.
Yeah.
See, now I know how young Drake caught that bullet and ended up in that wheelchair. It's crime is insane up there.
Yeah, he was an acrobat once upon a time. It was shot off the trapeze by a Protestant militant.
And people say it's friendly and nice up there.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, shout out to our friends in Canada. I just came across this morning. I was like, well, that's perfect. That's my next movie I'm writing.
What is a Clown Town Sex Massacre?
Clown Town Sex Massacre.
There we go.
Take you to Clown Town, baby.
Yeah.
One-way ticket.
It's not pretty.
Yeah. That's right. 1855, the year Toronto got clown pilled.
The image on the cover on this is like a squirting flower but with a condom over it.
It's just
The reservoir tip filled.
just pumping a Winchester repeating rifle, just being like, we're going bozo mode tonight, boys.
Bozo mode.
Oh, George, not the livestock.
We have a segment on this show where we talk about our guest's hometown. And today we are joined, as I mentioned at the top of the program, Blake Hamilton comes to us from Rocket City, USA, a.k.a. Hunts Vegas, a.k.a. Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk Northern Alabama. I looked this up because I didn't know anything about Huntsville. So we've got Birmingham, famously. Huntsville was originally named Twickenham.
Really?
So the guy who founded it was a guy named Leroy Pope, who had, I guess, become convinced, though there's no proof of this, that he was related to the Enlightenment poet Alexander Pope, and that was where he was from, up in Middlesex in England. He was from Twickenham, so that's why it was called that. But then after the War of 1812, people were like, "Fuck the British," so they renamed it Huntsville after John Hunt, who was the guy who owned the land next to him. That's where it got its name, and I didn't know any of that. But
He also has a house downtown called the Spite House.
Yes, I did read about
the
that.
Spite? Yeah, so if you go downtown, there's a lot of pretty old buildings, and I guess it might have been John Hunt, this neighbor of his that he didn't like, had a house with like a better view than him.
Yeah.
So he built his house to obstruct this guy's view of like the mountains.
Yeah,
So it's called the Spite House, but
I think he built a house up on a hill and was just like,
so they got the crazy in there early. You know, it just grew from there.
Oh, there's a long grand history of spite houses. It's one of my favorite things. It happened all the time in San Francisco. It happens today, where some old lady refuses to sell her house and they build a condo in the shape of a fucking U just around it to be like, fuck you. So they have no window anymore.
Yep.
I was actually on an episode of the Cracked podcast back in the day with Alex Schmidt. Shout out to Alex, talking about spite houses. I don't know if they nuked that or not when they fired everybody at Cracked, but it might still exist somewhere out there.
You gotta find that shit.
That's a good one. Yeah, and also I should mention in 2021, Huntsville officially became Alabama's largest city.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, man.
Okay, because my whole childhood they were like, we're right on the cusp. We're going to overtake Birmingham.
So they got the census data back from 2020, and it turns out Birmingham still has the largest metro area, but Huntsville is itself, the city is
just more populated.
Yep.
Wow.
It's because of the pandemic and because they keep annexing parts of like Madison, and the county, which is like a whole other ball of wax. Just people mad about that, but no, it's changed drastically over the last 10 years. It's very different.
I think Huntsville is like, at least I can gather, like for people who are like moving from like here or like like if they're going to move to Alabama, I still think they have like a little bit of like hesitance towards Birmingham, just because
all the news clips,
all the news clips, the 50s, all that stuff.
So I think American history class.
But Huntsville is like renowned as being like, oh, it's like smart people live there, and it's nice, and
NASA,
NASA, and Werner von Braun, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
what's that?
Everyone there can read.
Everyone there can read.
Yeah.
No, I know for a while. I don't know if this is still true. It had like the highest concentration of PhDs like anywhere in the country. Like I'm very proud to be from there. It's a very interesting place.
Right.
But yeah, that's definitely, and you still see that. You see people that move there and they're like, oh, this is great. I can build this big house for like no money. And then
the government has agreed to not look into my past as a Nazi, or at least that was that was the 50s.
And that's what I was going to try to segue to is, that's sort of the shadow cast over the whole area is all the government stuff going on. And
Redstone Arsenal is there.
One of my like most vivid childhood memories is on 9/11. We all got a half day that day. And my school was right by one of the gates that went into Redstone Arsenal, which is the big like military installation there. Yeah. And I'll never forget like seeing all the cars like streaming out of there on 9/11 because of course that's what Afghanistan wants. They want to come to North Alabama,
right?
And nuke
They're going to hit the arsenal.
I think
destroy the economy of the second largest town in the state.
Yeah,
my friend Aaron Weber, he's from Alabama too. He has a joke about that where he was like the next in Montgomery. He's from Montgomery. And he was like, everyone's just like, dude, we're like next, dude. We're like everyone was like legit concerned. There was like New York, Montgomery, Alabama was the next thing.
Oh yeah.
So I looked into some current headlines. Not a whole lot happening in Huntsville except this past weekend did have a celebrity in town. I'll just read the headline here. Moms for Liberty Library event with Kirk Cameron and Riley Gaines draws protests. So
good.
Shout out to the Huntsville TSA for just surrounding this fucking library full of fascist assholes.
Hell yeah.
So that was cool. But Kirk Cameron was in town. So that was a big deal. They attempted to cancel the event because there was going to be too many people there. And then they had to uncancel it. And then it went down. And so that's big fun happening in
It seems like one of the few places in the state where you can really draw a lot of like protesters. Like I'm not. I mean, I hope I'm wrong about that, but it's
It's of all the places you could try to pull that shit in Alabama. That's probably not the best. But let's get to the real headlines because Huntsville is also the home of one of my absolute favorite Facebook groups, and that is, of course, Huntsville Confessions. Do you know about Huntsville Confessions?
Yes, I have. I have perused it. No, my city has some of the craziest social media activity because it's kind of like LA. You have all these people from different areas just kind of thrown into this one place where there's not a lot going on.
And probably nuclear waste leaking into the water table.
Yeah, who knows what else? But no, it's all that and like the next door stuff is like wild, man. Like,
oh, God, yeah. So I just wanted to share a few of these Huntsville confessions. So these are sent in anonymously to this Facebook group. So let's just some of these people are asking for advice. So maybe we can help them out. This first one. How do you handle it when people steal shit from your family when someone dies? We had a family member die a couple of years ago, and our other family member went into the house while we were at the funeral and stole a bunch of stuff and sold it. I was like, that is dirty.
wow.
Tell you what, everyone was distracted.
Hey,
Kind of brilliant too.
God hates a vacuum,
Everyone's at a mandatory event.
Yeah. You know where everybody's eyes are going to be? Not on the jewelry box.
That's right.
So they stole things like jewelry and valuable items that would have normally went to the family members' kids. Am I supposed to act like that's fine and just shrug it off? Everybody else seems to have, but I can't stand it. Advice is appreciated.
Got to secure your bag, man. That's my advice.
I know.
That's my only advice.
Probably saw us coming. That boy wasn't right. He ain't been right for a long time. And,
it seems like that's what the rest of the family is saying, but this person is clearly like, no, fuck that. They got to die. They're pissed.
Sounds like a job for Judge Judy to me.
Yeah.
It's getting small claims court. Come on.
Somebody was telling me that they had a older relative that anytime they came over, they would make them walk around the house with a Sharpie and write their name on things.
Oh, what?
Forgot who told me this, but they had like a great aunt who was just like, now I want you to write your name on all the stuff you want, so when I'm dead.
Okay, yeah. That
so with them alive in the room, they were going around and writing their initials on things they wanted. Like sticking stickers on the bottom of shit.
This is the kind of injustice only a clown could avenge.
There it is.
Yeah, send in the clowns.
No, that's like the Southern grandma equivalent of like faking your own death and watching the funeral. It's like, I'm going to see what they claim and how much they really value me and my possession. Like that is a pretty common thing. I feel like both my grandmas have done that at some point.
I think the real answer is small claims court.
Yep.
That's true.
But the keeping it real answer is beat up your
I was
fucking
gonna say beat
fentanyl
down.
addict
Off the record,
cousin.
Yeah. Fentanyl beatdown.
Show up at Leroy's house and be like, all right, hand it over.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick your ass.
Those are
nothing-
my jewelry to pawn for fentanyl, motherfucker.
Ain't no detox like a beatdown detox.
You gotta lure them to the Montgomery River walk first, and then then we spring the trap.
And this next one here, also from Huntsville Confessions. Poor old blank, name redacted, still eating up that hamburger helper while old boy, yes, I call him old boy because he'll be 52 soon, he's out chasing them girls on them dating apps saying he's still 45.
The sweet spot age on the dating apps, 45.
Honey, lives are forever. You might need to make sure you're not making a fool of yourself. So that one's not real advice. It's just, a subtweet, as they say, or a sub-X.
Damn, if you're still eating hamburger helper in 2023, there's an issue. There's some major issues in the home.
Cook some beef on a skillet, man.
Yeah, I know. Do anything else. You don't have to put powder in every one of your meals.
Yeah.
I know the box comes with the powder, but you don't need that.
And then this last one here, this is just a hell of a tale. You'll love to hear it. So I was at this store asking an employee if they can help me find a product that I had a screenshot of. And while I was showing the employee the screenshot on the phone, she tried to scroll down on the screen because she thought it was a website and not a screenshot. Well, my dumb self forgets to exit out of a titty gallery I was looking at.
Yeah.
Which, what a fucking horrible thing to say. It was a titty gallery. And so I am just imagining.
Disembodied titties, yeah.
It's no
Very
faces.
Silence of the Lambs.
I mean, he has
Shooting
like
gallery, as I call it.
a separate folder for that in his picture.
It's just all lefts.
Amazing she was able to get any traction on that phone screen.
So many data security issues down there. Man. Like that's half of all problems there.
Also, this is definitely this guy did this on purpose, right?
Uh-oh.
You
What's
wanna,
that?
You want to join the gallery, sweetheart? I got a place in L6. So I forgot to exit out of the titty gallery I was looking at. And when I open my browser to go to the store's website, my titty gallery pops up and the employee is stunned for a second. Embarrassing.
Oh, I accidentally tried to fix the porn and I showed her more porn. Whoopsie.
If I had
It's like a Three Stooges episode.
Whoopsies.
One time when I lived with my grandma, we left and we came back, and my grandpa was watching porn, and he was trying to change the channel, but he was just turning it up. Freaking out because he couldn't figure out how to change it. It was just getting louder. And louder.
So as your grandma was getting for, I was like, oh yeah, oh my god, that's amazing.
So that's the real news that's happening in Huntsville. But let's talk about Blake Hamilton's Huntsville.
Yes. It was a dark place.
So first question. What was the incident for you?
Yeah, so in 1998, in my neighborhood, we had a guy chop up his family with an axe.
Holy fuck! Oh my god, that is an
Incident is an understatement.
Yeah.
So didn't
And
take
where
long
was
to answer that
where
question.
was the mayor when this was
Exactly
happening?
right. That's what I want to know. But
Ride up on horseback and go, my god,
I've never seen such. Yeah, no, it's
depravity. Not
it
just
was-
the clown fuck. Mercy curve. Oh, sorry.
so I know clowns in Huntsville anymore.
Yeah.
No, that was probably the main thing that happened. I
I
kind
bet
of
that's been on some TV, and they've made some
Yeah.
episodes of some TV shows of true crime about that shit.
I mean,
I guarantee.
Yeah, I've watched one or two, and then this is before I was really like a horror movie fan. But I remember watching the movie Halloween for the first time and being like, "There's something familiar about like what's going on with this." But no, that was pretty legendary.
Wow,
And then
Jeffrey Franklin was the guy's name, and according to shout out to the good folks at WHNT and my friend Allison who works there. This is their headline from last year. Jeffrey Franklin denied parole again 24 years after the brutal attack on his parents and siblings. Woo.
Jeez, how long ago did this? 24 years ago, so this was the early 2000s?
98, I think, is when it happened.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And then what's even funnier is if you, well, not really funny, but it's
No,
it
it's
tells
fucking
it tells
funny.
you a lot about Alabama. Like I always tell people, like culturally, we're always about like 10 years behind. And when you look at like stories from the time about this, they say satanic panic is blamed for murder. So it's
Wow.
like, that ended like 15 years ago. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Devil worship stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, it was a sledgehammer and a hatchet.
Yep. 2 weapons.
Fuck.
He was a
Lordy.
dual wielding guy.
Oof. Wow.
Yeah, pretty bad.
I love that first question now, the incident, because last week it was just somebody did something funny at my school.
Yeah.
And then this week.
This is approaching an event.
Yeah.
It's pretty regional, I would say, not just local, but
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Question 2. Local legend.
yeah. So I don't know why all my answers on this were so like just bad and graphic, but we had a guy Chester the Molester.
It's like not Werner von Braun.
He's the real mascot for the town. But yeah, we got this guy. Apparently, it was almost like was the guy in Wisconsin? They did the Netflix series on.
Oh, Dahmer?
No, the
Ed Gein?
Stephen Avery.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was like a
yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
Avery
There's a lot of
situation.
psychos in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Well, he was the guy who was falsely accused for murder, right?
it's kind of an open question.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Oh,
He's,
okay.
he's in jail
I've,
for it.
I've only seen season 1, so
Yeah, no, that's a much more rosy season than the second one. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, no, it's kind of a similar thing. This guy had been like assaulting women like back in the 70s. But
Oh,
yeah, they
Jesus.
told us like always to watch out for Chester the Molester. Like for some reason, it went from women to like children by the
he's
time
like,
I was a kid.
He's like Cropsy. He's like the boogeyman.
Yeah, exactly. exactly.
Yeah,
but
holy shit.
a little more lighthearted was in the early days of YouTube. We had a couple of like viral YouTube stars.
Oh, I hope you're about to talk about who I think you're about to talk
Well,
about.
there's
'cause
two.
I've got it pulled up here.
Oh, you got
I
it? Okay.
I
So I know that it's going to be one of these. So the most popular one was, of course,
Hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband because they raping everybody out here. You don't have to come and confess. We're looking for you. We gon' find you. We gon' find you so you can run and tell that, run and tell that, run and tell that. Homeboy, homeboy.
Antoine Dodson,
Yeah.
legends.
for years we were replaying this thing.
Of course.
And,
Oh yeah.
I think he got a bunch of money somehow. Like he got some kind of like endorsement or like a TV show or whatever, and then it blew it immediately. But the other one, which you might
are
be
you telling me
thinking of-
there's no substance behind the guy
I'm
who got
sorry.
famous off a one sentence interview?
I'm sorry. But the other one, which you might be thinking of, is the strutting that ass
Strutting
guy. There you
that
go.
ass. This dude is fucking awesome.
All right.
Sorry. Let's see.
Yeah. Do you guys know the legend of strutting that ass?
No.
Let's give it a watch. See.
Who was walking there? But who else?
I know how bad they are. Why don't they just walk the gutters? It ain't a far walk. It's just 38 miles.
It's like 2 hours by car.
Why don't you walk the gutters?
Did you walk the gutters before?
I'll walk. Yeah, I can walk the gutters. Why don't you walk the gutters?
I don't need to walk the gutters.
Well, shit, no, you don't. You're gonna put everybody else walking the gutters. Why don't you just walk the gutters?
All right, I'll walk the gutters.
All right, let's go.
All right, hang on. Let me do this one time.
Man, let's go walking.
Yeah, so for context, the guy's trying to do a news report, and a very intoxicated man wanders up and is instructing him to walk to Gunnersville, which is still North Alabama, but basically the other side of the fucking state. And dude's losing it.
How about strutting that ass? You'll be so goddamn fucking tired. By the time you get to New Hope, you won't be strutting that ass. You'll be so goddamn fucking tired by the time you get to New Hope that you won't be strutting that ass.
This man is a sex worker.
What's got you so mad today?
Me?
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's great that he just is egging him on. He's like, "What got you so mad today?"
Everybody wants to run. Everybody wants to run. That's good. Run here to Gunnersville. I'll walk. I'll be right behind them and see how far they can run.
This guy's on crack.
It's a chauvinistic pig attitude that you're going to do something because you work at the Arsenal and you got a fucking Mercedes-Benz and you ain't got to walk every day, so you're going to get out and strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass. When you start walking, my friend, and you get 10 and 15 miles on the highway, you won't be strutting that ass. You'll be half dead by the time you get there. So it's a chauvinistic pig attitude that Clinton's got.
Let's get back to Clinton.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah, he's got his vocabulary word, chauvinistic pig, for the week.
Strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass, strut that ass. And when you walk about 15 or 20 miles, you won't be strutting that ass. You'll be so fucking tired, you won't be hard to hold that ass up. Strutting that ass.
Oh man, this guy's a
You won't be strutting
superstar.
that ass when
Yeah, so
That's my dad.
I was gonna say because I've actually wanted to talk about this for a long time,
Oh,
so
good.
it's perfect that
Good.
you brought this up because I was really trying to figure out who this dude was, and they actually brought that reporter back for like the 20th anniversary of this, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't really know who that guy was.
Didn't get a name or
No one got a
anything?
name. Like he was literally doing a news broadcast. He's standing in front of City Hall or some shit, just been talking about some boring meeting, and then this guy, a fucking superstar, just emerges from the fog like David Bowie or some shit. It's just out there, fully formed artist, strutting that ass. But the point he's making, I like it because he's basically, I think he was mad about them installing like walking paths or something, and he's
Yeah.
just like, the walking paths are just for people who are
Right.
pretending to exercise and that he's a man who actually has to walk to Guntersville.
That's very generous of you to discern a meaning behind what he was talking about.
I agree with that as someone who has to walk a lot.
Right.
Hiking is for privileged people.
That's what he's saying.
If you have the privilege to go hike around, that means you don't have to walk a lot of places.
Yeah. When you actually have to walk, you will not be strutting that ass.
No.
You will be just simply using the utilitarian function of walking.
You'll be shuffling that ass along.
Yeah, and this predates
dragging that ass even.
And this predates Instagram too, which now
full of these videos.
Well, no. I mean, what his main complaint, what he's talking about, is people doing performative hikes, just to get a good selfie up on Runyon Canyon. They're just strutting that ass.
So there's people out there that are just mad at others exercising. Is that
yes.
what you're saying?
Yeah,
Like,
basically. I think
don't improve yourself. I have to go to work.
Yeah.
Okay. I get it.
Forced into exercise.
Yes.
And I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And toothless.
Do you know how much harder it is when you're drunk?
Man, yeah. So anyway, shout out to that man who's certainly passed away by now, but
going strong. He's the mayor.
And
Yeah.
I'm so happy because, like you were saying, with like the Antoine Dodson thing, mass media got a hold of him and chewed him up and spit him out. This guy's a mystery still, you know, and I'm a research fiend. I love trying to find people like this, and there's nothing, not a goddamn thing.
I don't know how far down the Winnebago manhole you'd have to go to find it.
It'd be impossible.
I bet like just an obituary. Like he's certainly dead. Like
if that. I mean, we don't know where he's from. He might have just been wandering through town.
I don't know. I bet my mom could figure out who he is.
Yeah, do you think
my
so?
mom knows like everybody in Huntsville, so she could probably figure it out.
My parents lived in Huntsville for 8 years. Maybe they know the strut.
Okay, well, yeah. Let's shoot this video out to y'all folks and see what happens. Question 3: worst bar.
Got to be the Thirsty Turtle.
Okay,
that's
I don't even know that one.
I think I did a show at the Thirsty Turtle.
You might
once.
have.
Yeah.
Great. It's a perfect stand-up venue, but that's like where all the like restaurant scumbags went after work. And
oh God, that bar. Yeah.
I took a break.
I've never been to the Thirsty Turtle, but
it's probably
as soon as
still
you said
there.
that, I know exactly what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the classic. You all go blow all your tips, after the show and whatever. But I just remember
it's halftime in the town where I'm from.
But there's something about a place like that where you've just got no prospects and nothing else going on in your life. I feel very lucky that I got to spend time there.
Okay. Number 4, best local food.
Yeah, so Huntsville's claim to fame is if there's like lately the big like culinary thing from Alabama that's kind of spread is the white sauce, the barbecue white sauce, supposedly invented at Big Bob Gibson's barbecue on Governor's Drive in Huntsville.
Yeah,
I think it's got to be true because who else would claim that?
Yeah,
it's just like
I think
it's pretty good. It tastes good, but it looks disgusting. That's all.
It's just mayonnaise, right?
Yeah. It's like horseradish and mayo, and I think like probably pickle juice or something.
It's mayo, it's horseradish, it's apple cider vinegar, it's sugar, it's cayenne, and it's black pepper.
I was gonna say because my man makes them
all the time.
He makes white sauce, and I still have a container of it. In my
nice.
fridge. I think it's gone bad now at this point because that's like a year ago.
Throw that out. Definitely throw that out. Yeah,
just deep freeze it.
Bob Gibson's closes way too early. I will say that. Every time I ever do stand up there, I try to pop in, and it's like 7:30, and they're like, "Yeah, we're closed." I'm like, "Fuck." So anyway,
yeah, especially during COVID. After COVID, like everywhere there closes at like 7. It's hard to get in there.
Yeah. I head up that Crystal though. That's always a that's always around.
I should mention that's another question. Sorry, go ahead. Next question.
Next question, number 5, local ghosts or monsters.
Yeah, so if you're from Huntsville, there's a thing you do in all the schools there where you go to the Maple Hill Cemetery, which is like where all the ex-governors and Confederate soldiers are buried.
Yeah.
And one thing, so there was a governor's daughter named Sally Carter who died, I think, of like tuberculosis. And the thing that everybody does is they go up to her mausoleum and you're supposed to like knock and like whisper through the door and like listen to hear like her ghost. So we like to instill like, fear of ghosts like early on because literally every single school child in the city has to do this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's our big ghost is a dead governor's daughter. It's actually not that scary.
Okay. What does she supposedly say if you knock on
I don't
the
think
door?
she even did anything. I think she's just supposed to whisper at you, and that's about it. Yeah.
You're being priced out of town.
Yeah. Gentrifying this whole neighborhood.
Yeah. And then last question, favorite thing that's not there anymore?
Yeah, so I've started following, much like Rivers, I'm very into like local history, and I follow all these local pages from town. And there was an infamous nightclub called the Plush Horse. Yeah, great name, right?
What a name! Yeah,
Already love it.
But I was a horse on that plush, man. But yeah, it was up near like the country club, so it was kind of like the fancy part of town in the 70s and the 80s, and it was actually really great. They had people like like Gladys Knight would play there, and like Ike and Tina Turner played there when they first opened up. But it was one of those. It was like a mix between like a roadhouse and like an actual club. So
okay,
they finally had to tear it down, and then it became a. Well, they didn't tear it down.
Too much
they closed
fun.
it, yeah. But it became a flashpoint of like local culture in the '90s because that same guy that owned it tried to reopen it as a gay club, and the city like kiboshed that because all the neighbors didn't want it. So it actually, this guy that ran like this scummy like just basically sex club, became like a local like hero kind of for standing up for the LGBT community.
We cannot have that in the eyes of Egg Beater Jesus.
Right. Exactly.
Which is a church that looks like an egg beater on the front, and it's they call it Egg Beater Jesus.
The only art in town.
That's the only art.
Egg Beater Jesus. Yeah, but I love Huntsville.
Well, yeah, shout out to the folks in Rocket City, USA. That is a tour of Blake Hamilton's Huntsville, Alabama.
Also Nazis. We had a lot of Nazis.
Yeah, also Project Paperclip.
Saving that for part 2. Yeah.
Well, the Civic Center there is the Warner Von Braun Civic Center, one of the main drags through town, Warner Von Braun Boulevard.
Yeah. As Mort Saul said, if they could put a rocket in London, they could put a rocket on the moon. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think it was, I like it. The actual quote is, I aim for the stars, but sometimes I hit London.
I hit London.
Yeah, because they made a movie about Warner Von Braun called I Aim for the Stars. Y'all, we have time for just one more segment. And of course, this is our jam of the week. Oh, can you feel the summer vibe, everybody?
Is this a Skinny Chesney?
This is Skinny motherfucking Chesney featuring Uncle Cracker.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is When the Sun Goes Down. Everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, boys. So I got to be honest. I was looking for an Uncle Cracker song, but it turns out that song "Follow Me" is about heroin, and so it was just a lot of sad heroin comments. So I opted for a little more festive Uncle Cracker fare, and this is his collab with that acorn-headed, leather-skinned, strange weirdo named Kenny Chesney. That
turns out Bawa to Ba is also about heroin.
I was going to say When the Sun Goes Down, also about heroin.
Yeah.
So many songs about heroin.
I mean,
every song is actually about heroin.
Amish Paradise, actually about heroin.
This actually would be a fun improv game.
Yeah, songs are actually about heroin.
Every song is about heroin. Well, you see, Mary had a little lamb. The lamb, okay, it's actually a fucking horse. This is off of the album When the Sun Goes Down from 2004. This, I mean, can you just feel the vibe? So, do you know this song, Carter?
Oh yeah. I mean, he's the heir apparent to fucking Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett's being stubborn, dude. He won't give up the throne.
He won't fucking die.
All Kenny Chesney wants to do is to sell these chicken tenders and become the new beach mayor, but he won't. But fucking Jimmy Buffett won't let him do it.
It's even got the fucking steel drums and shit.
Man, he's got the puka shell like PacSun necklace and shit.
So
I just found myself out on those beaches. You know what I mean?
Uncle Cracker came from a time where being Kid Rock's friend could really take you a long way.
That's really his rise is real crazy when you really think about it. He was Kid Rock's DJ.
Yeah,
and he was like, "No, I'm gonna be like
Solo artist.
Bob Seger, and then Kid Rock weirdly changes course and goes into the cracker lane. That
Yeah, and he tried to be Bob Seger, and then he tried to be Toby Keith, and then he's stuck in Toby Keith mode.
Yeah. Slowly moving to Mel Gibson.
Moving to Mel Gibson. Yeah. Do you think DJ Lethal like tried to write a song like shortly after? Like he was like, I mean, they're letting DJs have a crack at it these days.
An uncle crack at it.
An uncle crack at it.
But yeah, this song has 39 million views, 3,080 comments, and y'all, I read every goddamn last one of them. So let us now drop down into the comment section of Kenny Chesney and Uncle Cracker's When the Sun Goes Down YouTube video. First up, Ray P. Silamy EXE from 2 years ago. This song was playing in the bathroom of a Love's gas station in rural Missouri while I was chewing Pepto-Bismol tablets and suffering intense diarrhea after coming down with a stomach flu on a 10-hour car ride 2 years ago. And I'm like,
when the sun goes down on your asshole.
Yeah, this is
what a memory for this song to invoke. Yeah.
It's such a fun song.
This song reminds me of a horrible diarrhea.
Yeah. This is this song reminds me of when Dookie attacked my body.
Well, you just think about how many like silly songs are playing on like someone's like radio before they're like a fatal car accident. Like, the last thing they hear is like fucking like a Papa Roach song or something.
Yeah.
Like that's got to be some twisted irony, some sadness in that.
Yeah, well, I related to that too because I found we covered it a couple years ago, but the song "It Can Buy Me a Boat," I did hear no intense diarrhea, but I did hear in the Love's truck stop in Wisconsin, I think. So I do know that they crank the shitty country music in those, so can confirm this happened.
Shit, yeah. There's like a song that plays while you're pumping gas.
And
stops like 45
and it
seconds
won't
in.
stop. You can't shut it off. Gypsy Somewhat from 2 years ago. Summer 2020. So yeah, I'll call you Uncle Kenny Daddy. Kenny, whatever you want to call me to call you, long as I can call you. Okay. I'm just going to go watch some more Uncle Kenny Daddy videos. I was like, this person had their brain destroyed by 2020. They're just in a room
smooth as a baby's ass.
Locked in a padded room. This song is playing in their brain. They're just going, Uncle Kenny Daddy, Uncle Kenny Daddy.
I think they're saying Uncle Kenny, who's their daddy.
Oh.
I don't think they have a childlike thing. I think you're really projecting that. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, they set it up.
I got a sexual connotation out of it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like, oh, he's daddy.
Yeah,
Kenny's
that's what I was
daddy.
thinking, yeah.
Those bare arms and shit. And,
Yeah. So I would say without the inclusion of the year 2020, maybe, but I'm sort of just incorporating that into the overall statement. Like, this is my mind state in 2020 is Uncle Kenny Daddy.
For a certain group of people,
Yeah.
Kenny Chesney is a bona fide sex
It's
symbol.
fucking crazy.
For a even more niche group of people, Uncle Cracker is a sex lord.
It is fucking nuts, and you're right, because I did read a shitload of these comments, and there were so many people like...
Guy was married to Renee Zellweger for a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
dude.
Oh, yeah, for a month, I think.
His head is the size of a grape.
Shit, yeah, he's got that little acorn head. Melissa K. Caudle from 2 years ago. I think Kenny is hot, but ladies, I'm sorry. Uncle Cracker has it all and a bag of chips, too. He sets me on fire.
And a bag of chips, and some chicken wings, and a bag of pizza.
2 liter of Pepsi.
2 liter of Pepsi.
Oh, God.
Uncle Cracker is fat, is what we're trying to say, folks. Which is not nice.
No, but, he gives us all hope, as a man of his same shape.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm rocking an Uncle Cracker body right now, and I gotta say,
Yeah, dad bod is out, crack bod is in.
Cracker body is in, and he I guess he got out of the Kid Rock thing before he embarrassed himself. I don't know.
Yeah, well, his politics are better, much better.
Are they?
I did a little investigation. Yeah, he's at least smart enough to keep his mouth shut on certain topics.
Is he still
There
a
you go.
DJ? Is he still performing?
Oh fuck it! Well, he's touring. Yeah.
He's a solo artist.
coming-
He's not a DJ anymore.
Yeah, no, he's coming soon to a state fair near you, Blake.
I was gonna say, there's a crawfish boil, then he will play "Follow Me" 8 times.
Oh well, and don't forget his cover of "Drift Away" by Dobie Gray.
Oh, yeah.
That's his other big song. Or "In a Little While," I think is the other one. So where he
See, I thought that was a Stain song.
well, no, that's it's been a while. In a little while, he references. He does the Mystery Science Theater rule, or breaks the Mystery Science Theater rule, where he references better art in his art.
Dude.
Where he goes, sometimes I feel like I'm a stranger in town. And you're like, you're already doing fake Bob Seger. Don't reference Seger.
I have a theory that Uncle Kracker, Steve Harwell from Smash Mouth, and Aaron Lewis are all the same guy. And he's actually responsible for half of the songs that were popular in the early 2000s.
And yeah, he's actually a genius.
He's actually a genius. It's the same dude.
Yeah. Cole Catula from 1 year ago. My favorite. Uncle Cracker. I remember when my mom did karaoke to this song, and I thought it was too good to be true. What? And then we
all of my wildest dreams fulfilled.
And then we had to leave her, and she got her own taxi back. D's nuts.
Wait, what?
His mom's a waste-story drunk. We left my mom at the bar.
Yeah,
I was 7 when this happened.
Did she do both parts? Did she do Uncle Cracker's part and Kenny Chesney's part?
Oh, you know she did. Absolutely.
They were out the door before she finished the song.
Yeah.
Did his mom dirty.
She's on
that
stage. We can leave.
Yeah, D's nuts. He's big
Y'all
fan
go
of
on. I'm
D's
trying to
nuts
get some
too.
strange.
So when we covered that one Zach Brown, Jimmy Buffett song, Sam famously said, being on a boat ruins your brain. So in that tradition,
That's a good point.
It rocks your brain back and forth.
yeah, it jostles your brain too much. So in that tradition, the Three Musketeer brothers from 7 years ago, which I'm like, is that 9 brothers? So
Wait, from 7 years ago? You mean like from the fucking 1500s?
yeah. So this is from 7 years ago. Whoever doesn't like it when the sun goes down cannot be living. But when you're on the boat and you see that sunset, it's just like eating a hot fudge sundae. I'm like, I've never
Odd comparison. Yeah.
I have never equated. Sunsets are beautiful and hot fudge sundaes are delicious. Never equated the two in my life. That is straight boat brain jostling right there.
Yeah, it's just the comparisons don't make they don't fit. It's like you ever watch like a sunset from like a mountain. It's like taking a really satisfying shit.
This is definitely a drinking alone song.
Yeah, for sure.
This is when you're like first getting into it and you're in the happy part of drinking alone where you're like, bam, dude, life's pretty cool. 2 hours from now, you'll be sobbing.
Ice cream's not going to keep on a boat either. Like it's melted by the time the sun is setting. Let's be honest.
Not everyone can do the beach poetry of Kenny Chesney.
Well, Jim
Bard.
Jim Stone is
The beach bard.
well, Jim Stone is certainly attempting some poetry here. Jim Stone from 2 years ago. It'll be hotter than hell in Texas. He can definitely be the dad again to your next baby. I don't want it anymore.
Oh my God.
You stay in your city. I'm so mad at myself. I left paradise, living on a beach, living on Padre Island. But that's me now. You got your guys. I got my girls. All of my girls. One of these days, it's going to be checkmate. Women are very hot.
I used to visit Padre Island with my family growing up. The people who live there are all crazy. Because you're living in a place that's going to get destroyed by fucking high waters like once every 5 years. They all live on houses on stilts.
Oh, yeah.
Beach people are fucking nuts, man.
That guy definitely has some bodies in his basement.
They hang out in the sun too much. And they're like, oh, I'm sick of this. Let me get on a boat and jostle my brain.
Yeah, that's the thing. Eventually, those UVs pierce your scalp and they go straight into your brain.
Like Ralph Waldo Emerson, people who live in the woods.
Oh, yeah.
Filled with poetry.
Thoreau.
People who live on the beach, like fucking got nothing to talk about except for wing deals.
Yeah. And even the poets who live on the beach, like Ernest Hemingway. I mean, you know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Not a good ending.
Mel John's back from 3 weeks ago. I have a jaw that broke on June 19th and a car and a bike stolen. I could prove the U.S.
I got a jaw that broke. That jaw was on my body.
Yeah, that's what he
in my
means.
face
Son's
region.
jaw.
My son's jaw.
He says, I can prove the U.S. courts aren't part of what matters. It is a lie. And the cops' payroll and the mayors and the judges and the car dealers, They owe me an explanation. They aren't legitimate till they answer to me. My jaw feels like two separate pieces. I'm like, your jaw is too. Anyway, Halloween can't happen unless you go through me. I'll get the Canadian or Mexican or Iraqi. Don't mess with me. And he spells Iraqi R-I-K-I. So Halloween's canceled unless you apologize to this man for breaking his jaw.
He's been reduced to typing. He can't speak his truth. He has to type it on YouTube comments.
I got a few more here. Jeff Yoder from 1 year ago. Hey, y'all, it's me, Jeff Yoder. I'm the old broke down scooter tramp again. Parentheses ex-biker. And I was around in 2021, and I'm here in 2022. I'll be 17, or I'll be 70.
Are you talking about Jeff Yoder from 2021?
Yeah. Says I'll be 72 in July, God willing. And after that, every new day will be a wonderful bonus for me.
Oh man, that's
pretty nice.
Yeah,
You know,
he thinks he's talking to people. That's really sweet.
Look,
Yeah.
the broke down scooter tramp has a point. You know, that's very existential. You know, live every day like it's your last on the scooter.
I've always called bikers that, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Broke
he says
down scooter tramps.
he says he's an ex-biker, so that means his
okay.
bike is fucked up. So now he's relegated to the scooter.
Got it.
Holly Hammett from 1 year ago. So funny. Such lucky, man. Tell me why a girl hasn't come along, pattering her life after the Kinney Enterprise like he did the Buffett. But maybe now some girl will. I speak and the spirit goes forth. So she's imploring some lady country singer out there to be the queen of the beach. You know, we've got several pretenders for the throne of the beach on the male side, but we need a lady beach person.
Can be solved with a volleyball tournament. Again, these are not bright people. Beach people are not. They're not serious.
This
You
one's
can't run from the apocalypse in flip flops. All right.
This one's very. This one sucks. John Murray from 1 year ago. My daughter used to get me tickets way in advance for Kinney concerts. Broke my heart when I had to tell her that he's not my fave. Now he thinks he's Jimmy Buffett Jr. Go back to music and not landscape. I'm like,
Got him.
right, all of those are fair points, but the fact that your daughter's trying to do something nice for you and you're like, actually, not my fave, bro.
Take
I don't
someone
give
else.
a fuck if it was $200.
I sort of appreciate the gesture, but next time I'm going to need Billy Currington tickets, you fucking idiot.
Another beach bard.
Yeah. And finally, Angela Howerton from 10 days ago. I love Kenny Chesney and anything he sings. He's the coolest, cutest, and the best singer, I think.
Telling you, man, he's considered hot.
I've loved him since day one. In fact, there was a cardboard cutout of Kenny that the Corona beer people put up in our local grocery store, and I had to have it. So I picked it up, I took it to the store manager, and I asked him how much I could buy it for, because I would not leave without it. And he stumbled around and didn't know what to say. And I explained that there was one more display in the store, so he looked at me awful funny. Walked to the back and looked again and seen there was another one. And he said, you could take it. Just hurry and go straight out the door.
Never come back.
Boy, I took off with that 6-foot-tall Kenny Chesney figure and never looked back. Left my buggy full in the aisles and split with my Kenny Chesney figure. When I got home and showed my husband, he said, nice, but where's the groceries? This is the beginning
I'm
of a
hungry.
I know. This is also the beginning of like a horror movie. She shows up, there's no more food. There's only
Yeah.
Kenny.
Wake up in the middle of the night and the things in their bedroom staring at him.
Kenny's-
Kenny's staring at him.
She's putting clothes on it. Like,
Kenny's spirit feeds
His
us all.
You're my new husband,
you're my
Kenny.
husband now.
Off to work, husband Kenny.
Daddy, husband, Kenny.
Daddy, husband Kenny.
So he just shook his head and grinned. I still keep that beautiful cardboard stand up in one of our guest bedrooms, and it is so beautiful.
There I have sex with that cardboard stand-up.
That was about 12 plus years ago. What a catch that day. I grinned all the way home. I was so proud. Thanks, Angela P. Howerton from Oak Ridge, North Carolina.
Hoarder. Absolute hoarder.
See, I disagree. I think this is the only decoration in their house. You just go in their house, there's nothing on the walls. There's just Kenny with a Corona staring at you. Huh?
My junior year of high school math teacher had a cardboard cutout of Alabama coach Mike Shula.
Oh, no.
What an odd one to have, too.
No, he was not doing well.
No.
So
Yeah.
it's
If
a
it
thing
ain't
with
Gene or
Southern
Nick,
women.
then what are you doing?
Yeah.
You may as well have a Mike DeBose cutout.
I know, right?
Oh, well, that is the one and only Kenny Chesney and Uncle Cracker with their tune, When the Sun Goes Down, our jam of the week. Blake Hamilton, where can people find you on the internet?
Blake _Hamilton on all platforms. Hope to be in your city either end of this year or early next year. So keep an eye out.
Hell yeah. Ronald Vara, where can people find you?
At It's Fast Ronald on all social media platforms.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, give Blake and Ronald a follow. Two of my favorite folks ever. Carter, where can people find you on the internet?
Carter _Glasscock on Twitter. No, X.
He's zeeting, folks. He's zeet, motherfucker.
I haven't zeeted yet, but I might zeet. I don't know.
I zeeted twice
It's
today.
gonna happen for you, man.
You
Don't
zeeted?
worry.
All right. I've been attached to some zeets. And I myself might zeet. But you can catch me zeeting. You can catch me. You can catch me on Instagram, I guess. You know, I write album reviews every now and again.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll post those as they come out. And
Nice.
yeah, that's
right.
it.
Musk or Zuckerberg, who do you got?
Oh, dude, Zuck.
Zuck. Hell yeah. Same here.
Suck him up.
Sam, where can people find you online?
They can find me at Slam Harder on Twitter. They can find me at Sam Harder 666 on Instagram. TikTok is also Slam Harder. YouTube, LA Comedy Life. Threads, Sam Harder 666. I threaded today.
Oh, you threaded. All right.
I forgot it existed.
yeah.
But, you know, you got to post a thread every now and again.
Yeah.
Who you got? Zucker, Musk.
I mean, are steroids allowed?
Just
Probably
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think Zuck. Musk
Hell
is
yeah.
going to come in roided to the gills.
yeah. Oh,
but,
yeah.
Zuck, I think, has a little more training.
Yeah.
That'll help him along the way.
Musk is in Rogan's Roy dungeon right now.
Oh, Musk is soft though, like a baby's
yeah,
ass.
yeah,
he was
is,
raised. He was. I mean, Zuck has
Misshapen.
an insane shark eyes. That
When
will,
is the fight? Have they announced the date?
Well,
Until they do, it's not going to
right.
happen.
Well, that's the thing is Musk was trying to make it seem like Zuck was backing out. Then Zuck was like, no, I fucking said I wanted it to go down August 26th or whatever. And his little bitch ass never called me. So now the gauntlet has been thrown. So it seems like, seems like it's
Dana
gonna
White
happen.
wants to promote it so bad.
Yeah.
He literally, he's like, it'll be the biggest fighting event ever.
Yeah, it's like
and he might be right.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's like, and then we'll donate all the proceeds to charity.
Yeah. Well,
He's booking it that way, then he can pocket all the money.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Zuck's tweet was because Elon proposed that it be on X, and Zuckerberg was like, we should have it on a more reputable platform than this. Yeah,
He's right. He's right, though.
It needs to be on PPV, man. Well, you can find me on X and also Blue Sky and Threads at Rivers Langley and Instagram at the same spots. You can find our show on X at The Goods Pod. That is still the primary means of communication, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to... it's hard to rebuild a fucking thing I've been building for 10 fucking years.
just
anyway.
check us out on Spotify. You're probably
There we
listening to us
go.
on Spotify.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. But you can
Leave us alone.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I want to talk. I need attention. But yeah, we're on everything at The Goods Pod, youtube.com/The Goods Pod. Best way to support the show, head to patreon.com/The Goods Pod. Second best way, head to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Show the attitude of gratitude, because if you do not have the attitude of gratitude, daddy, we're sending in the clowns. The Goods from the Woods was recorded and edited by me, Rivers Langley. You can find our show on Twitter at The Goods Pod. Our theme song was composed by Jonas, the Space Cowboy.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.